You ever think about running away and all the PBJs you need to make? You're like, how long can I last in the desert? With 20 peanut butter jellies, with a full loaf and 2 jars.
If I take one bite every 3 hours. She turns to me because she was never looking at me, and she goes, "Ha." I was like, I'm bombing.
Are you farting again, dude?
Dude, tell the story.
I can't.
I'm listening.
This is a big distraction. I'm not. This is crazy.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Overshadowed Podcast, the only podcast that covers the siblings of famous and infamous people throughout history. My name is Charles.
I'm Zach.
And we are 2 New York comedians podcasting to you live right now in the flesh at the Stand Comedy Club over here on 14th Street, Union Square. It is the holiday season, baby. Christmas lights are up. Zach's jolly. I'm full of gas. I'm drinking coffee and eating beans, so you know Christmas is close. We are coming to you with a nice personal episode of some stories, things that have happened to us this past week. We got a sweet episode with Amelia Earhart's husband coming up next.
Oh, yeah.
But for now,
first we got to talk about you were in Long Island. I hurt my back. I got a fever. I was shitting like a Keurig. And
that's got to be said.
This episode today is sponsored by Lay's Ketchup Chips. When you want to eat a chip that looks like somebody died in the snow.
Would you like to eat a flake of throw up? Lay's Ketchup Chips.
Flavored with bile.
Let's taste it. Together. No, wait for me. Dude. We're not going to
I'm currently waiting for you.
Okay. Let's get it on the camera of us cheersing.
Cheers. I got a little shard. Oh, man.
It was like vinegar. Ew.
No, it's really like someone dipped a chip in ketchup.
This is disgusting.
Woo! I can't believe. I really like this. And I like chips and I like ketchup.
And we got here, by the way, and this thing was
almost.
Really?
No.
This thing's almost done, by the way. So
Yeah.
some freak, some hack.
Chappelle.
Yes, this is Chappelle's.
Dave Chappelle was in here smoking butts and ripping ketchup Lays.
I had a buddy that used to dip Lay's, the ridges. I guess like the Ruffles, let's just say.
Yeah.
And he would dip it in applesauce. Did you have any kids like that? Like weird snacks or something like that?
My brother used to dip carrots in ketchup.
That's pretty gross.
It's not good.
Carrots and ranch as a
We
kid.
were
Remember
worried
finding that
about
out? That was a big day for me in my household. Those were 2 day snacks
I like
for me.
straight up carrots raw, just
Unprotected carrots.
unprotected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. That's dangerous.
You guys like the ranch? You big ranch
Well,
house? What do you mean when that was what? Did
When we
mom's
fa-
like,
when-
you guys won't believe what I found.
These were 3 pivotal kid snacks for me. Was realizing you could do carrots and ranch. That changed everything. Pretzels and cream cheese. Huge day in the house. And strawberries with sugar.
Okay.
I
Strawberries
remember
with sugar was a big day.
Crazy.
Yeah.
That was...
Mom put out a bowl of sugar. You're like, what's this?
Yeah.
She's like, dip it.
Dip a strawberry in there. And you're like...
It's already sweet. Yeah.
We had like the little sugar caddies with like the mini spoons. So
The spoons.
some
So
days,
you dip it and then you make a little mountain.
Some days I wouldn't even dip it. As a kid, when you're just sugar, I would go straight to the source. I'd open up the cabinet of the sugar. I'd just go.
Okay, all right. That's not. I don't abide by that. I don't like that.
You ever do this? I used to do this. I used to eat the marshmallows out of Lucky Charms.
Oh
Yeah.
No, you're one of those kids.
Wait for the day that my brother only has a dry bowl. A bowl with, it was so funny. One morning though, I got my karma.
A dry bowl.
I meant like a bowl full of grain, no mellows. We call it a dry bowl.
Okay.
That's a terminology.
What is that?
It's like a red eye with coffee.
I get it.
You gotta drink it to know what it is.
Dry bowl.
Um,
I got a comedy special coming out on dry bowl pretty soon. It's all clean. It's about cereal.
I've got a Peacock sister company is my special, Ewok.
Oh.
Yeah, it's all about sci-fi and hair. I did do only one morning in my life where I actually ate before school all of the marshmallows out of a Lucky Charms, and I shat all day at school. It taught me you need balance in life.
I needed the ratio to be right. I didn't like just a mouthful of marshmallows.
Yeah.
It's dissolving and it's soft and it's also like it's like a packing peanut. It's like a isn't it though? It
Yeah,
kind
it
of
is.
dissolves like a packing
Yeah,
peanut.
it
And you're
is.
like, this is too much. I need some cardboard in here to balance it out.
I need a full box.
Yeah, give me a full box.
Give me these peanuts.
Yeah, shipping safe box. Give me some bubble wrap too.
Yeah, please. What kind of cereal? We'll get into this, but I do need to know what type of cereal guy you were, because the candy we both surprised each other with the candy that we liked.
That's true. Waffle Crisp a lot.
This is you right now or as a kid?
As a kid.
Okay. Waffle Crisp I had like once.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Classic. But not all the time.
No, you can't do it all the time. Honey Nut Cheerios. I mean, I liked all the sweet ones. What did you like?
Well, I went through years of my formative years were Cocoa Pebbles through one of those plastic. Yeah,
Those are the days.
one of those plastic bowls with the straw attached, so you could go get all the juice at the end, dude.
I don't even think I did that until I was older.
Oh man, we had it. Me
Slurping
and my
up the
brother. We
juice.
both had our bowls. We'd use every day. We'd eat from it, wash it, put it back in the cabinet.
Whoa.
I was Cocoa Pebbles. Chris was a Cocoa Puffs, and we both could not see each other's side. I
Guys were
was
like-
like, "You're an animal," by the
Yeah.
way.
What? They're like the same. I mean,
That's what a lot of people think. See,
one's
the
more,
purists see the difference.
One's more like a cheese puff. One's more like a Rice Krispie.
Yeah,
I understand.
I was Pebbles, and then I remember one day. We
Is that
had
more like the Rice Krispie or the puff?
who is
You.
I was Pebbles Puff for a while.
The cheese puff.
But, like,
and then he
once-
was, oh, yeah, I think I like those.
It's
Yeah.
tough.
No.
It's tough, though.
No. His becomes this, like, sludge.
Yeah, you're
it's
right.
like a mudslide.
Yeah,
Yours has some, at
it's
least,
kinda grosses me
integrity.
out. Yeah,
I know. It's not good.
You're
By the-
spooning sugar and chocolate in your mouth.
That's kind of dissolved into its components, so you kind of know. You're like, oh, I see what this is.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, geez, Louise.
At least the puffs kind of hide,
Yeah,
it's still cereal.
They keep their shape longer.
They keep their shape.
You ever do this? This is a hack joke. You ever answer the phone while you're eating cereal? Make that mistake? Somebody's talking a little too long. You're too young to tell somebody your grandma calls in the morning. Oh, it's grandma.
It's
She's
getting
talking to
soggy.
you. My grandma.
No, I did. This is how I know I'm growing up. I did eat a bowl of cereal and then called a friend.
Cereal time is you time. You should go on airplane mode when you're eating cereal.
Yeah.
It's really.
Throw your phone across the room.
Yeah.
And focus on the bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Focus on the bowl in front of you. Let me ask you this: how are you doing? How are you feeling physically? Because I'm feeling ragged. I was up till like 4:30 last night.
I feel good.
You climbed the stairs this morning?
I did legs yesterday, so
You
today
scaled
was
the summit?
Yeah, today was incline and on the treadmill warm up because my legs are too sore.
Okay.
But I've been climbing the stairs every day. Chucky climbs, dude. I've been climbing fast.
I'd like to race you on we should go to a stadium one
You
day.
would not.
No, just for the Patreon. I'd fight dirty too.
Oh, really?
I'd have guys hiding under the bleachers, reaching out their arms to trip you. Whoa!
Yeah, it becomes like a Indiana Jones. There's
Yeah.
like a ball chasing me.
Right. Yeah. Up the stairs.
Darts. Pew. Yeah,
Yeah,
ball
I
chasing
have
me.
a cannon fire
Yeah.
a boulder up the stairs. at
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, but you've been falling apart.
I haven't fallen apart physically and mentally, but yeah, physically, I hurt my back before I went home for Thanksgiving. And it was the last exercise of the last workout that I was doing. I was putting the kettlebell down. I was done.
Mm-hmm.
And my legs were shoulder width apart, and I just bent down with it and sharp pull. And then immediately I was like, straighten up the back to get, you're like, well, if I
Yeah.
straighten it, it'll be fine. And then it was like, this is more painful.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I'm like, oh, I really fucked this up. I laid down, and it was one of those where I'm like, did I pinch an organ? Did my pancreas
Get stuck in the zipper of your body.
Exactly.
Get stuck in my back zipper.
A door jam? Right. Did I close the door on my
pancreas.
kidney? So that sucked. And then the next 2 weeks, it just unleashed sickness and, locusts and frogs and plagues on me. I got home for Thanksgiving. My back was hurting. My mom had to get out one of these back warmers that looks like it's from the Civil War.
I have one of those. Yeah, it's
just like a
pad.
plastic bladder.
Yeah.
That looks like a claymore. You flip the on switch and you're like, I hope this doesn't blow up. Why does
Yeah.
it say front towards enemy? I'm a little worried about this, but it felt good. And yeah, I was just out of commission, and I felt bad because whenever I go home, my mom always kind of assumes that I'm just gonna do some heavy man lifting jobs.
I have the same thing. When you're home, you gotta get this for me. I'm a small lady.
and I'm like, I'm a big man.
Yeah.
Kind of feels good to be useful. But I felt bad. I was just laid up, and she was vacuuming, and she's doing all this shit, and I'm just like, Mommy,
Mom,
can I have some more milk and a tubby rub? So that sucked, and then we had extended family over, and I woke up every time I woke up in Maryland, and there was a family get together, I was waylaid by some illness or injury.
dang.
So when my extended family came over,
Yeah.
16 people, I wake up with 101 fever. I feel like I'm gonna die. I took a shower at 9 a.m. just to get my body temperature up.
Whew.
It was brutal. And I went downstairs. I looked
Body temperature up because you were so cold
I had the chills. Really
and
bad.
fever. Woo.
Well, I don't know how fevers work, but I would assume it's that your body is internally hot, so it's trying to cool itself down too much, and then you get the chills.
Oh, the chills from the fever.
Yeah, it's like your body's way of fighting it.
Okay, I could see that.
You know, do you agree?
Sure, I could see that. Yeah, that's plausible.
Okay.
But you get a fever because your body's trying to kill the virus, right? Isn't it like heating
I thought
up?
the fever was because of the virus. Look, guys, we are not finished medical school. We're in our first year. We're still figuring it out.
We're still white belts. We're still white coats at the firm.
We're still trying to put together the skeleton they gave us. That's the first test. They give you a totally disassembled human skeleton.
They give you an egg and you say, you take care of this for a week. And if it cracks, you are not ready to be a doctor.
You raise this chicken.
You see Jimmy over there? He's on his third dozen.
He has a full coop.
Of dead kids.
Great cook, though.
Great.
Makes an omelet.
He's really in the wrong business, but it's
Yeah.
nepotism that keeps him here. We just can't by law pass him. But his dad is Mr. Hospital. David J. Hospital.
David J. Hospital.
And his mom is Marcy Helipad. That's why when they married, they start putting the...
That's why, it's named after him. This is the hospital. This is the helipad.
Yeah, it is very symbolic that she's always on top.
Yeah, even though he runs things. Behind every man is a woman pulling him down. Like back into the River Styx. That's where women live. In the river of death.
River of dicks, more like it. Right, Steph? Scott curses his ex.
Oh, I was like, who's Steph? So I had a fever. I had a bad fever, and I get up, and I don't know if you have any family members like this. My aunt is very hypochondriac. I don't know how to make it an adjective.
Actic.
Hypochondriac.
Hypochondriactal.
Ill-phobic.
Yeah.
Illmatic. My Aunt Nas is very scared of getting sick.
Your Aunt Nasty Nas?
Yeah, it stands for nasty, but we all call her Nas. My Aunt Nasty. So she's nasty enough, so she doesn't want to add to the nastiness.
Oh, she's gross.
No. She's disgusting. Gross is an understatement. She's a beast. We hear her that she's arrived from the hooves clomping in the driveway. And we smell the scent of rotten flesh, and we know that Aunt Nasty's arrived. So, she's lovely. She's fun. I mean, anything that my mom has that's fun is like from her. Like, she gives very fun gifts. My mom has like a little, wooden thing with writing on it that's like, live life like somebody left the gate open. I don't know, just advocating trespassing. I'm not really sure. It's like you're
running away from home.
Yeah.
Live life on the run.
Live life like you pack 10 PB&Js and you're never looking back. You ever think about that?
The train leaves at midnight. You better hurry up.
You ever think about running away and all the PBJs you need to make? You're like, how long can I last in the desert? With 20 peanut butter jellies, with a full loaf and 2 jars.
If I take 1 bite every 3 hours, I think I'll be good for the summer.
And if I drink my own piss.
That's what Piss B&J.
Yeah. That's the sequel to the PLT.
Yep. No, but I have ran away before.
Really?
You ever run away? You ever get into the fight with I had a lot of fights with.
I've walked in the neighborhood and I'm like, I'm not doing this.
Yeah, I've done that. Yeah, exactly. I've done that. I had a lot of fights with my mom growing up.
And I run. Go ahead.
I had just had the strict mom yelly. I was a bitch kid. I was a.
Sounds like you guys were bitch people.
Yeah, we were bitches.
Yeah.
Just and I'd always.
My ancestry came back 100% bitch.
100% that bitch.
Oh.
Turns out.
Non-committal. You ran away?
I would run away and then I would
because you got
come
a bitch
back.
mom and you're a bitch kid.
The furthest I ever got was my neighbor's house, and then
what neighbor? 3 doors down.
1 house down, and then I was
what?
Yeah, it was in the middle of the night, and I remember I knocked.
Oh, why?
Yeah, I
on
got
their
in.
house.
Yeah, I went in. I was serious on running away, but I got scared and I just went to the next house over.
And what?
I think I just.
They answered the door and they're like, "Hello,"
and I was like, "I need to come in."
And you're like, "Trick or treat."
It's June 3rd. I'm not being a bitch. Can I come in?
Did they let you in?
Yeah, I remember. That's the first. I think they let me in. They were like, "What's the problem?"
Did they club you on the head? Why don't you remember this?
I think that I.
Everything went black, and I woke up chained in the basement. And I'm like,
it was
this
5
is
years
different.
later, but
yeah. I crawl out to my parents. They're like, "Oh yeah,
there you are.
We forgot about this guy."
Were you the guy in the neighbor's house the whole time who we thought looked like our missing son?
We're like, that's a crazy coincidence. They look so similar.
Their new child looks like our missing son.
So they let you in, and they were like, what's up?
Yeah, and then I think whatever story I told, they were like, oh, you're a child. And then I think they went to my mom's house for like 30 minutes, and then I went back being like, it's my choice.
Right.
Come back.
What'd you say?
I can't. Come on. You shouldn't respect me. I'm 7. You shouldn't respect my
Were
words.
you 7?
I was probably under 10.
Oh, you were young.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. She promised
What do you think I was, 12?
I don't know. 18? She promised she was going to take me to Chuck E. Cheese, and then she had to go file for divorce, and it's not fair.
Priorities.
Priorities, Mom.
You can get divorced any time. Chuck E. Cheese is going out of business. Have you seen the stock index? They're going out of business.
CCC is down.
I bought so much. I lost so much.
You see the state of the Rat Band?
What am I supposed to do with all these? I open a closet full of tickets. These are nothing now.
The lead singer died of fentanyl. It's over.
All right, so you're at your house.
I'm at my house. I'm feverish. I'm dying. And I'm upstairs because my mom's like, oh, we'll just have you, like, stayed up. Like, you know, and, like, you know, quarantine. I didn't have COVID. I took a COVID test.
There was a thing going around that felt like COVID.
Yeah, it felt horrible. And you know, I'm pooping like a Keurig, just endless endless
you were
K-cups.
texting me that.
Yeah, I mean that's
I kind of didn't like that text.
I mean, I'm sorry, man. I thought we were friends.
I'm
trying to open up.
I was having a normal day, and I get you text me, hey, I'm pooping soup right now.
Pooping soup.
That's what you said. You're like, I'm making soup, and I was like,
I'm wiping with a spoon.
I'm kind of like, I was like. Cool, man.
Look, dude, you have a lot of stomach issues. So I thought you were going to be like, hell yeah, dude, welcome to the club.
No, I poop logs.
Okay. Well, don't brag.
I got to break mine apart. I got to keep a little saw on me going there. I mean, these things are...
I have a stump that I have to put it on and chop it in half where I can flush it. I did clog my toilet when I was younger, and it was... My dad had just gotten a new one, and I told him I clogged it, and he was like, Zach, that thing can take logs. What about a whole tree?
I know.
What about a whole tree from your firstborn, though? Huh? What if you don't chop it
Dad?
up?
So who's got the biggest anus?
So I'm really struggling here.
Wait, my roommate's clogged the toilet a few times, and every time she clogs it, we always have to go under the story of, I don't know what happened. First comes out, it's always her clogging the toilet every time it's been clogged. And the story is always, I don't know. I think the pipes.
The pipes.
Yeah, I think
pipes,
the pipes
Johnny.
couldn't take your Mondo shit.
Yeah, that's probably the problem.
Okay, anyway.
So, yep, Aunt Nasty is afraid of me. And I'm upstairs. I'm quarantining. I'm hearing all my relatives come over that I haven't seen. I'd like to see them, my cousins, uncles, and stuff. And they're like, I got a fun family. It is nice because they're like a good group of people. I'm watching Treasure Planet on my computer, which it's a really good movie.
Is it animated?
It was a box office flop. Yes. Okay. The budget was like 140 million. I think they made like 120.
I remember. Oh, that sucks.
It really sucks, but it's a great movie.
I remember seeing the. I know the movie.
So I watched the movie, and I'm halfway through it, and I'm texting my lady, and I'm like, yeah, you know, I'm just up here, you know, just in my room, like secluded, and you know, I hear everything's going on downstairs, and she's like, go downstairs. And I'm like, I don't know. I'm supposed to be up here. And she's like, well, can't you wear a mask? And I'm like, oh, a mask. Like, I hadn't even thought of a mask. I'm so out on the masks. Mm-hmm. I couldn't, like, they are useful for these situations.
Yep.
And so I went downstairs, and you know, immediately everybody's like, hey, what's up? Here's a Jello shot. You know, so I got a lemon Jello shot, and I felt good.
Wow, you have a fun family. They're doing Jello shots?
Yeah, they're fun.
Dang.
And, you know, everyone's, like, making fun of me for having a mask on. They're like, come on, take it off. It's just like...
Is that mask hiding the dick in your mouth?
Yeah, that's... Yeah, I don't know.
That's what
like,
they
how
said.
How you going to take the Jello shot under the mask? And I'm like, you're not going to see. It's under the mask. And they all laughed and laughed. So so I got this fever, and then I got, you know, the poops happening that persisted through Miami. Like, I went to Miami to, you know, see
Sucks
my lady
being on
and
vacation
my
with
family.
The shits.
It wasn't great.
Oh,
like,
so did you have to poop at her family's house?
Yeah. But it wasn't, you know, I was kind of used to it. But here's the problem. I was going to the bathroom at like 8 a.m. or something, just trying to pee. You know, when you pee, you sometimes fart. So I'm like, let me just take care of this. And I just shit down my leg.
Ah.
Because it was so ready at all times. And I really feel like my...
That was like a Black Friday sale. As soon as there's a little door open.
Exactly. I got to get this TV. Yeah. I got to hurt people.
I got to get in those pipes.
Yeah. So yeah, on the floor, just like
Really?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't.
Oh
it
my
wasn't a
God!
lot.
For some reason, I pictured you
I'm
wearing
peeing,
jeans,
standing
but why
up.
would you? You take you get totally naked when you pee standing up, right?
No, I had my boxers on.
It'd be funny if you did and you just all over the wall. You have to then you have to make use of your environment. At least it wasn't a situation. You know that? Have you ever been in a situation like, let's say you shit on the wall at your, like, someone gets,
Like, for instance,
probably never happened to me.
Yeah.
But then you're in an emergency where you have to clean something and you have to make use of your
course,
environment,
yeah,
and maybe the only thing available is Q-tips, and he's gonna
Right, you got to make 2 sticks, rub them together, make a fire, try to burn it off. Yeah, you got to do whatever you can.
Okay, so you shit on the floor at your girlfriend's mom's house.
Yep, clean it up. I guess this is the first time she's hearing about this.
Oh, you didn't tell her?
Not on the floor specifically. I told her I pooped myself, but I didn't tell her where it went.
That's the thing about poop.
I mean,
and
she
real
felt
estate,
bad, which was great. I mean, she's very sweet, so she just was more just feeling bad for me.
Oh, nice.
Not like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I can't believe you're shitting. You should be fucking me right now.
I was gonna say that's the thing about poop in real estate is it's all about location.
I definitely had one more thing.
Sure.
Yeah, whatever, dude. So I'm having the shits, and at the same time in Miami, my external hard drive, which has like all the podcast stuff on it, crashed. So like before, on the way to the flight, I had to go run into Best Buy, buy something for $100.
Damn.
Just buy a data recovery
So
software
annoying.
for $100, and now I'm in the process of recovering it. And then I get to Miami. I'm leaving Miami, and my computer dies. And I'm like, I must be the battery. So I order a new battery, wrong battery. I have to send that back. So I order another battery, right battery, plug it in, doesn't work. Go to Micro Center again. They're like, it's probably your motherboard. I'm like, that's not a real thing. Come on, can you be serious?
Is it the tractor beam too?
Oh yeah, is it my father plug is short circuited? You idiot! My brother, brother board. And they told me it was very expensive to replace, so I just had to get a new computer. And I've been to and then I took the old hard drive out of the old computer and put it in this enclosure, and it wasn't like registering, so I had to go back again and have them do it for me, and they just slammed it in harder, which I was afraid to do.
Yeah, because you're like, I don't know if
I'm like, I don't want to force anything, and they're like, hold on. And then it worked. I'm like, well, I wasn't going to do that in my house.
Yeah, I'm just so you guys know. Did you take a moment to be like, just so you guys know, I am strong enough to do that. I just want to let you guys know.
I actually dropped and did like 20 push-ups on the spot.
Yeah, actually, open it up again. I just want to show you guys.
Yeah.
So, is this being filmed?
I actually broke my computer in half. I'm like, see, I could have done it.
I'm very strong. You guys have anything else that needs strength here?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, Micro Center, I picked up my penis, and that's why I went there in the first place. Can I, my penis needs an update.
Needs a new driver.
It's getting a little bigger, and I want it to stay micro.
I like micro. I like compact.
Yeah.
I like micro. I once
Like
said
a micro SD. Micro small dick.
Micro small dick.
That's right.
Micro small dick. Just so you guys know.
Hi, I'm micro small dick.
I one time had a girl, she was trying to hook up with me, but she was trying to get me to, like, I think, get naked. And I think she thought that, and I wasn't, because I was like, I'm not going to hook up with you. And I think she thought that I was self-conscious about my dick. And then she started talking about guys' penises, like, I've been with the micro dick before.
Oh.
Yeah, we just used other things. I think in thoughts that she thought that maybe I'm self-conscious about my dick, so she's like, I've seen them really small.
Right.
She was, and I was like, good to know, but you'll never know.
That's a funny way to trick you into showing her your
like
dick.
I was gonna be like, oh, well,
see, it's medium.
yeah.
She's
Well,
like,
if you've been with the smallest of the small,
if it's wicked small, I mean, that's okay. And you're like, it's not. She's like, I mean, if it is, and there's no way of knowing it's not without you showing me.
it's kind of like, what's that thing? Schrodinger's cock.
Right? yeah. Schrödinger's micropenis.
Yeah.
If you don't check, it could be micro. It's
This
micro or not until you check.
It's micro until we check. I'm micro until proven girthy.
I saw a clip. It was like a Howard Stern clip. The man's smallest penis contest, and all these guys were on there naked. And this guy came up, and it looked like he had a vagina.
Man,
It really
I think
did.
I remember that.
And then he like pulled it back, and you're like, oh, there it is, because he was just like a little overweight.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean, I think if
I
he
can't
was,
believe you used to be that overweight. Boom.
if he, hey man, I was on Howard Stern.
It was him. No, I think
it was Zach. It was Zach.
That's really sad.
It was sad, yeah, but it was kind of funny, and he talked like this like Brooklyn guy, and he's like, honestly, I feel like there are guys here who are gonna beat me, and he's like, I wish that wasn't true, but I mean, I've been looking around, and it's grim.
He's like, I got the smallest.
There's a line of like 8 dudes
all naked?
waiting to yeah, but not in no danger of touching each other's butts with their tiny dicks.
Oh yeah,
They're very tucked in, very compact.
Jeez.
But yeah, man,
and then they had him get hard.
No. I don't. Maybe I couldn't really tell what was going on. But yeah, I've just been in a bunch of setbacks. I've been setback Zach. Beset by setbacks.
Yeah. Well, how you feel now? You feeling better? You got a new computer. Things are looking up, kid.
Yeah, I feel all right. I'm happy we're doing the podcast. Yeah, it was just a lot where I couldn't be productive, and then I was writing a little bit, but it's
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And then I'm like, I got to, just commit to the pod and it'll be good. And
yeah, it's it's those things when priority, like, the shitty thing about the ebbs and the flows and all of that stuff is that when the habits start to fade away, it can get you for a few days, and you have to be like, that's the thing that's going to send you down, make it worse. A couple of days for me without the habits, like, I just feel so much worse, whether it's the gym or writing or the podcast.
And in your mind, you're like, this is forever.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, this is who I am. I'm a nothing. I'm a regular guy. I live a regular life. I eat Honey Nut Cheerios. And
micro dick.
Micro dick.
I'm good. I took one. I'm gonna tune into it. Did you see R. Kelly released a song about like being a pedophile?
Yeah.
It's fun.
Is that I don't even know if there's any in there.
You know what's funny is that R. Kelly, I think, released a song admitting to be a pedophile in hopes that people would be...
R. Kelly released that song where he was like, that's the redemption. You can get redemption if you're a singer, right?
Sure.
And both Kanye and R. Kelly just released songs, but R. Kelly was a little too on the nose with it.
Did Kanye just release a song?
He released a song too, and everybody's like, oh man, it's the best song. It is a good song though.
Is it?
No, it's whatever. It's a song. It's a Kanye West song that's like reminiscent of his old style of just like a good beat and him actually like rapping and not being, his later stuff. He's like, wah! And he's like screaming. And
it is funny because he's just so insane that everyone's like, I'm not listening to that. It's probably full of Jewish hate. And for Kanye, that's just like such a small part of what he's doing.
Yeah, exactly.
For him, he's not like, yeah, I'm like a Nazi now.
Yeah.
He's just like,
He's
no,
like,
I mean, I think all these crazy things, but I also like to write rap.
Yeah, I do like it's.
I'm a rapper.
I'm a guy. I'm
Yeah.
a well-cornered
complete person.
swastika person.
Right.
I got 4 corners.
Yeah.
And then R. Kelly was just like, I fuck kids, so what? Like, well, no, that's what we don't make a song reminding us. You need to make a song good enough to make us forget what you did.
Exactly.
But R. Kelly was like, I fucked a teen in her butt.
Right.
And you're like, R.
And
Kelly.
you're like, R. Kelly, take a page out of Kanye's book. I can't believe I'm saying that.
Do you know how to, yeah, for real. Just make a beat that's cool and sing about
flying,
lunch or whatever.
and how you believe you can.
Yeah.
Lunch. Hit me with, I do want to hear about the Long Island show. Yeah, I do want to hear about that.
Long Island, I got booked on a show with Drew Dunn. We go out to Long Island, and Long Island is so you have this idea where it's like, it's either going to be trashy, the weirdest, trashiest people in the world. And that, you know what I mean? Like such a weird mix of white trash. We get to this place, it's at a billiards hall, it's upstairs, and we get there and we're like, it's a kooky part of town, and we go upstairs, and then the upstairs is beautiful. Big stage. Just a great stage. You're like, okay, this could be something. You start seeing the people come in, and you're like, okay, they're older, but they're probably excited to do this. There's probably nothing else going on in town. This is going to be cool. We're getting excited. And then it's called the Barnum Room. Really beautiful. And then we're like, and that comes into play later. So we meet the other.
The beauty comes into play later.
Yeah. It's me, Drew, and then this guy who's like a Long Island comedian, I guess.
Yes, he is.
And I'm like, okay, so what's the deal? What are you guys doing? We figure out that I'm hosting, and I go up to, there's 2 people running the show. I don't think they're affiliated with the comedy. I think they just are the bosses of the billiard. One's super.
The bosses.
The bosses of the billiards.
I'm not a manager. I'm the boss.
I'm the boss.
Yeah.
And I go, one of them's really tall and skinny. The other one's really short and 900 pounds.
Okay.
They both just look like the number 10.
Okay.
And I go up and I'm like, how much
number 10?
Yeah, when they sit next to each other, that's a Ralphie May joke.
That's funny.
And my wife is really tall. My wife is fit and skinny, and I'm really fat. So when we're walking down the street, we look like the number 10.
That's great.
And I go, how much time are we doing? And everybody was like, I don't know. And I was like, all right, well, let me ask Tall and Skinny. And Tall, Skinny, and Ponytail,
one.
by the way. Talk about a drink of water.
Whoa, did he have on like
Flint.
a vest and a dove in his coat?
He put on a circus uniform.
Oh, I saw that.
Because it's called
guy
the
in his
Barnum
story.
Room.
Is it a red hat or a black hat that he
Black
has on?
hat and then like the red circus.
Like a
with the,
top hat.
Yeah.
Yeah, he looks crazy.
He
Does he
put-
have bells on? I pictured
Yeah,
bells, like
he-
you would hear him before you saw him.
No bells, but he
No
went on
bells.
stage just to introduce me.
Okay.
And he wore like a whole
I'm
circus.
glad he
getup.
got all dressed up
First of all,
for you.
by the way, when I went to talk to this guy before the show, I was like, he's like, what do you want for your intro? I'll intro you. And I was like, you can just say funny guy. And he was
Average
like,
dick.
he looked at me like, he was like, you gotta have something. And I was like, I went on a tour for the troops with my buddy. And he was like, what part of the troops? And I was like, Navy. And he was like, that's something. And then he goes to introduce me and he goes, I want you to give it up for your first comedian. He just got off tour in the Navy. It made me look like I was just deployed, and now I'm getting on stage. Woo! Yeah, which probably helped me for that crowd. They were like, he was just in the Navy.
Yeah, well, at least he served his country.
Killing the Taliban. They still think
Yeah.
the Taliban's around. Well, I mean.
Taliban, come Mr. Taliban,
Yeah, the
tally my
Tallywackers.
bananas.
But we get there, and I'm like, how much time are we doing? Let me ask this guy. And I go, hey, do you want me to do like 10 up top and then bring these comedians up? And he goes, yeah, do like 2 of the 3. And I was like, 2 of the 3 what? And he goes, the show's 3 hours. And I was like, that's funny. But like, am I doing 10 or am I doing 20? And he goes, do whatever you want. The show's 3 hours. Figure it out. And we all are like, okay. And then I go to...
He wants you to do 2 of the 3 hours?
He was like, do 2 hours. And I was like...
What, Drew and the other co-headliner are going to do 30?
Yeah. Well, he was... And then that's when I was like, okay, this guy...
You were in the Navy.
This guy was probably hit... Yeah, exactly. You do the time.
Yeah, you're an admiral.
You're the boss of everybody here.
You can't do 2 hours?
And I was like, at this point, I was like, okay, this guy probably got like hit in the head with a hammer. Or like, he's probably working
That's
here.
why he's wearing the hat.
Yeah. Something...
Disguise the wound.
He's here, but he has no... He's probably just here because... It's nice for him to have a job, leave the
It's
house.
a tax break for the club.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So then I go over to Short and Fat, and I was like, hey, how much time am I doing? And he goes, it's 3 hours. So we all figured out I would do 20, Drew comes up, does 40, I'll do another 10, and then the next guy will do whatever. I get on stage.
3 hours is so long.
There's 60 people. Maybe 30 people, right? Maybe way less. They're all like really old Long Island people. I get up there. It was like they were looking at me like I was a TV stuck on a channel and they lost the remote.
QV Chuck.
Not even, I mean,
You're just selling knives.
just looking up at you like,
I don't want to buy these knives.
I was doing,
They have
and then there was
knives.
one young kid who was like 22, and I tried doing crowd work on him, like, because he was not looking at me.
Yeah.
Nobody was really looking at me. They would just kind of, it was like I was like like a gay kid in a Republican household who was like, everybody's here, well, now you're going to watch me dance. And then every couple of minutes, they'd be like,
oh, man, when's it going to stop?
yeah, they'd be like, and I'm like up there.
Still dancing?
And there was this guy who was like 22 who was like, he was like 6'8". I found out. He's like 22.
Okay.
He's huge. And I was like, hey, what's up, dude? We're not, you look like you're my age. And he hated me the most.
Right.
He wouldn't give me an inch. He was like,
It's like a 4th grader trying to be like, hey, what's up? To a 6th grader.
yeah. And then the 4th grade, well, no.
Well, I know he's
felt like-
younger, but he's like, geez.
Yeah. He's like,
Maybe he's like, you're what I'm afraid of becoming.
mm-hmm.
You know?
Everybody felt embarrassed for
I
me.
hope I don't ever approach what you are.
Very embarrassed for me. At one
Yeah.
point during the first 20 minutes, this lady goes, there were only 2 people right up front. Everybody else sat in the way back.
Oh,
And
God.
the lady who sat up front, I wish could have been in the back.
Okay.
The whole time she's going.
Shaking
At
her
one
head.
point she turns to me because she was never looking at me, and she goes, "Ha." I was like, "Am I doing anything wrong? Did you guys think this was gonna be another thing?" I'm bombing.
Were you expecting juggling? What am I
Bombing.
supposed to do?
I mean, silence. And then I was like, silence to. I mean, I felt like a homeless person.
Yeah.
You feel.
Yeah.
At one point, I was.
Do you guys all have your headphones in?
It literally felt like I could have said anything. So there's
Uh-huh.
going to be no repercussions. I'm already in.
Yeah. While Kanye was talking about Hitler, I also have some thoughts.
Yeah. Then they turn. There we go.
Hey,
It's
that's my
supposed
guy.
to be a live manifesto.
Yeah.
And so I bring.
I thought this was a reading of Mein Kampf. This guy's talking about buying peaches at the grocery store. Did any joke work?
I had a couple of jokes work, and then so Drew goes up. He does well, but also it's like they're just bad audience.
Yeah, they're burned from the get-go.
And then I go up, I do another 10. I mean, Drew, is pretty good. So they at least they at least were like entertained, but they just weren't. They're just a bad audience. But they liked Drew. And then I go up, and it's one of those things where it's like I do another 10, and as soon as they realize that I'm still starting jokes instead of bringing somebody else up, they're like,
"Oh, dude,
he's back! He's back!" And I was like, "Alrighty, I'm doing the bits. Then I'm doing like a 10 that I like."
Yeah.
Like the jokes that I'm working on, I do like doing, and I'm just doing them to nothing.
Dude.
Nothing. And at one point, I got the 22-year-old 6'8" guy to laugh, and he had a voice that was deeper than anything I've ever heard in my life. So I was, I did like the classic, like
a Halloween ornament.
Yeah, exactly. And I did some crowd work on him on his voice, like, whoa, this guy's definitely going to beat my ass. I said, like, your voice is deep enough. It feels like you're putting my virginity back into me.
That's good.
And it was good, but they hated it. And
what?
Then, dude.
Oh, man.
And then, so I do 10 to nothing. I got one laugh per 10.
Right. So
and
how'd Penne Rigatone do?
Well, then I get to minute 7, and I'm like, I didn't ask this guy's name. I don't know I don't know the next comedian's name. I don't know it. I'm bombing. And you're going through scenarios where you're like, how am I going to do this? How am I going to bring this guy up to no name?
Yeah.
Because when you know the first name, you can be like, Eric Spoon, and like hope the claps kind of drown out the last name.
Yeah.
I didn't know his first
That's
name.
True, you can do that.
I didn't know the letter that his first name started with.
Mm-hmm.
And so I finished my 10 to nothing.
Yeah.
And then I go, you guys ready for another show? And then I go, you ready for more show?
Yeah.
You ready for a better guy?
Show.
You guys ready for somebody who's not me? Woo! Standing ovation.
Who's ready for somebody else?
And then they actually gave a pretty good applause because they were pretty excited for me to leave. They were pretty loud, but I had to go with the strategy of like I have to go to the green room to ask this guy his name. So they go, you ready for somebody who's not me? And they go, yeah, and start throwing roses. And I go, that fucking sucked. That boo. You guys aren't giving enough energy. I'm going to get off this stage. I want you to keep clapping. Show me that you're good enough. I'll come back out here. Bring up your headliner. Sound good? And then I'll go, yeah. I get off stage. They're going crazy. I find the headliner. I go, I don't know your name at all. I don't know your first or last name. And he goes, this name. And I come back out and I go, that's fucking garbage. They start screaming their heads off. I bring this guy up to the biggest applause I've ever seen in my life, fueled by their hate for me.
It's so funny that they hate you so much, and then you're like, you guys aren't giving me enough. Is that all you got?
Yeah.
I thought you loved me.
We fucking hate you.
They're just trying to drown out you hyping them up.
It was wild. Thankfully, I'll never see those people ever again in my life, and it was far away.
Yeah.
But I mean,
that was everybody from Comedy Central, I think.
Yeah. Well, people who booked governors were there.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, nice.
Sick.
And then, of course, you get this after the end of a bad show when you do the worst. People come up to the person next to you. Loved it. Loved you. And then look at you and go, you know where the bathroom is?
Yeah, I've been crying.
You probably work here, right?
Most of the night. Yeah.
You probably are just a guy who wanted to try this.
You do the dishes?
Yeah.
In the back?
I also had a set the other day where I didn't do well in front of everybody my age. I did fine, but not usually with people your age, you're like, I would hope to kill in front of. This is the group I want to kill in front of.
Hopefully we just I'd be doing good at a party with you guys.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it was probably me. And they were all like a U of I, Illinois alumni.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I do this when I do bad during a set. I'll just yell something out that doesn't make sense.
Right.
And at the end, I was like, all right, well, thanks for having me, guys. Chicago! I just yelled Chicago. Because I tried to be like, what can I... I don't know why I did it.
Windy City! All right, I'll talk to you guys later.
Jenny, his girlfriend, was hosting, came up and went, Chicago? And I was like, yeah!
From the back?
Just shot.
All right!
I just hung myself in the last second. All righty, well... If you didn't hate me now, let me yell your the state.
Make some Illinois for Chicago. Love that town.
Boy, you guys like me? Does anybody like me?
just said the place where they're from
Pro-choice.
at the end of your set.
In hopes to get some fucking...
Tax on billionaires.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eat the rich.
Okay. TTYL.
But I felt bad, and I went to Whole Foods, and I told you this, I went and I got like a meal, because I was like, maybe this will make me feel good.
Yeah.
I got some enchiladas and a coconut water, and then I went down to the Subway.
Meal of a king.
Meal of a king. And there was this homeless guy holding up the emergency door, and then I took a glance at him, saw that he was fully engulfed in flames at one point in his life. This guy was burnt. This guy, you know when toast comes out of the toaster and you're like, look, I can scrape this,
Yeah.
but there's no salvaging it.
Right. There's going to be nothing left.
Unless I want to taste ash.
Yeah.
But this is my
Unless
last.
I want to eat ash.
Yeah.
It's going to be a problem.
And this was the last piece of toast.
So
I look at him, and I'm telling, like, sometimes you look at homeless and they fill your eyes with so much pain that you're like, I gotta just push that guy out of my memory.
it's hard to just process. You're like, I'm not ready to think about this
Can't look at you right now, man. I just
thing.
bombed.
You think you're having a bad life.
Yeah, I just did 10 in front of people my age that didn't like me. And I yelled Chicago. What the hell? And
yeah, I like that term.
so I got to the steps of the Subway to go down, and then I was like, damn it. And I turned around, went up to the guy, and was like, do you want some food? And he was like, yeah, of course. And then I gave him my enchiladas, and I saw that all his fingers had been burnt to look like little candy corns.
That's why he did
He
it.
had little claws.
Halloween one year, he
Yeah.
just went all full out.
Exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
this guy could
Yeah, it was Freddy Candy Corn Krueger.
Yeah. give you a handshake that'll leave you bleeding.
So,
And so I was like, okay.
So he looks like a burnt piece of bread.
Yeah, I opened the enchiladas for him, and then I shake the coconut water, pop that open for him, and I was like, here you go. And I was like, let me talk to this guy, because he's so mutilated that I bet nobody... I did a pretty good job, dude. I looked this guy right
I believe
in
you.
where his eyes
You're nice to
were
homeless people.
20 years ago. And his face looked like he had been cursed by the sun. Someone said, don't look at the sun because it's so hot right now, it'll melt your skin. He was like, and everything, just thousands of years of erosion.
Yeah.
And I'm just talking to him like he's a regular guy. He should have been like,
So
damn,
cool,
dude,
you dude.
You lasted for 30 seconds.
You're a hero.
I felt my feet turning to stone. I was like, it's going to climb up. And so I'm like, hey, man, yeah, how's it going? And we're talking, and he takes a bite of the enchiladas during the conversation. And he goes, ew. And I was like...
Burners can't be choosers,
Yeah,
buddy.
and I was like, what? And he goes, dude, it's cold. And I was like,
Haven't you had enough heat in your life?
I was like,
It's enough. All right, I'm trying to cool you down.
trying to help you out, buddy.
Hot stuff.
You don't even have a tongue. How can you taste it? Thanks. And he just had a vertebrae there.
Oh, my God.
And I was like, yeah, man, I got it from the cold section. And he goes, oh, it tastes horrible. And then he caught himself, and he goes, he's like, I'm sure I'll like it. And I go, actually, I just gave you a coconut water. People really hate coconut water. How about you take a sip in front of me, too? And he goes,
You're gonna hate.
And I just went, I was like, come on, man.
The
And he
sound
goes,
he made when he saw his family burn. Oh, no. This tastes like plant cum.
And it's like, I felt angry enough to be like, give me it back. But, I mean, what am I going to do with it now? It's like, it's
No,
been
you're not
touched
gonna-
touched by a petrified man. And I was like, come
Stone
on,
mist.
man. He goes, it's pretty gross. And I was like, are you going to eat it or not? And he goes,
Yeah.
I'll eat it. I'll
Yeah.
eat it. And I hope he
Right.
did.
It hurts when the wind blows. I'll eat it.
Yeah.
I'll eat it.
And I...
You forget yourself, sir. Your life is a living hell. You'll take my cold enchilada and my coconut water,
and you like it,
and
too.
you'll enjoy it.
So,
The sun peeks out behind the clouds. It's like, I gotta go.
yeah.
I gotta go.
Sometimes also it's very hard to like not tell at least one person that you gave to the homeless.
Yeah,
There's
you
like
told
one
me a few
person.
times now.
Well, it was for the fun of it. I need I need to build some credit with people.
You do, yeah.
So-
Credit's low. I've
Yeah,
asked around.
credit's low. I got a Capital One card coming in the mail.
Oh yeah. I don't know where any of my credit cards are, but no one's spending any money on them.
That is a funny life where you're like,
They're not here, but they're not in someone else's hands. So I guess
yeah, until I find
I'll
them.
use my phone.
Yeah. You like this, by the way, the strategy?
I was wondering if you were gonna keep that up. It's good. Okay, so all right, let me tell you this story and then this thing about this thing, and then we'll get out of here.
Hold on, keep
No, I'm
tell
not
the story. I
remembering
gotta
the rest of the story.
fart.
Come
loud.
on!
I gotta fart.
All
I'm not doing it by you.
It's going to smell like a bayou. You just moved the cam.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did. Dude, you did. Make sure it looks nice. Does it look nice?
Yeah.
So at Maryland, I didn't bring any weed because I was just trying to take a break, which is nice. And, you can be home and everything and read more and stuff. But near I'd been sick. It was like one of the last days I was there. I was like, Corey, do you got any weed? And I texted him, but he was at the time on a date with a lady.
Whoa.
So, So I'm like, well, maybe he's busy, he can't text me back. I'll just go check. I'll go up to his room, I'll see what we see.
I'm the older brother. I get free reign.
Eminent domain.
I do that when I'm home too.
Eminent bro reign. So I walk up to his room and I'm like rifling through his underwear drawer. I'm like, would it be in here? I'm smelling all of them. I don't smell any weed. I don't smell any weed. It's for, investigation purposes. Your Honor, I was smelling it for the investigation. Okay?
The ongoing.
Which is ongoing. The first 48 hours are the most important, and we're at hour 192.
And
so I'm not too happy either. You think I'm smelling this smiling? I'm crying into those panties. So I'm going through his drawers and stuff, his literal drawers. And then I start going through his cabinet. I'm like, all right, if I get through like his desk and I don't see anything, like I'm not going to go into his closet and look for shoe boxes, filled with bird heads or whatever. So he's a freaky kid. So I pull open the drawer, and immediately I see one of those colorful like stash things where like it looks like a soda can, but it's smell proof and you can store your weed in there.
Yeah, you can unscrew the bottom.
Okay, like a fake soda can. So
yeah.
I open that and I see there's like stuff, paraphernalia. We got like a bowl, we got whatever. And then I'm looking at this, I see this mason jar. Are you farting again, dude?
Dude, tell the story.
I can't.
I'm listening.
This is a big distraction. I'm not. This is crazy.
Is it crazy? I've had 2 cups of coffee and potato chips. Is it crazy, Zach?
It's insane.
It's
sit down.
Highly likely that this would be happening to somebody with a normal digestive tract.
Sit down and try not to lift off.
I do have
Zach,
to.
do you remember that Scrubs episode where Turk holds in a fart and then he literally blasts off through the atmosphere like he goes through his house? It's so stupid, but it's pretty funny. So I see this mason jar. And it looks like grass clippings. It's like it looks like some homegrown compost nonsense. And so I open it up and I smell it and I'm like, this isn't weed. This is like spices. This is like bay leaves or something that he's maybe trying to keep his scent undetected.
Oh, so he's using that as a little cover,
a decoy, right?
Nice.
And so I'm like, okay, what do we have? Do we have anything else? And then I see one of the little black plastic pouches, medical marijuana.
Mm-hmm.
I struck gold. It was high quality stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, I smelled it. It smelled like weed. So, So I took the soda can, I took the black pouch out, and then I hear like a thud downstairs. And I'm like, maybe that was just like my mom closing the door. And then I hear like footsteps. And I'm like, oh my God, Corey's home. So I run into my room and I go to hide it because I've already texted him, by the way, so he knows that I was on the hunt, maybe. So he's walking upstairs. I'm like, shit. And then I hear my mom go, Corey, aren't you going to say hello to me? And then I'm like, yes, Mom will be a decoy. And then I can go sneak back into his room and put the stuff back.
She's probably watching the cams that she has set up in your room. She's trying to help you.
Yeah, we each have one big teddy bear in the corner that we love. And we don't suspect at all. Yeah, the head moves. Yeah, it's pretty obvious. So Corey goes in, and I'm like, yes. Corey's talking to Mom, and I'm like creeping back into his room because we're all upstairs.
You're trying to put the weed back.
I'm trying to put it back.
Wow.
I'm trying to return the stolen possession.
You don't want him to, because he'll be mad if he finds out.
I just don't want to, have been rooting around in his room and he finds out.
Okay.
I just want to lie. You understand.
Never heard of it.
So that was a good one. That was a good lie. So Corey immediately says one thing to my mom, and then his feet, are pounding towards his room. I'm like, you don't fucking love your mother? Talk to your mother more. So now I'm mad at him for that. And I'm in the drawer, and I put the weed in. I put it all back, but it's like I'm making noise, right? And then I jump into his bed and just pull the sheets over my head. And so he comes in, and then I flip the sheet down. I go, I'm in your sheets.
Weird.
Well, we used to do that as kids.
Oh, okay.
At least I would used to get into his bed and be like, I'm in your sheets. And he'd be like, he'd be really frustrated for no reason.
Okay,
as a younger brother.
That's a good way to get out of it.
It was a good cover. I'm like, remember when we were young? I'm in your sheets. And he was like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm in your sheets. And he's like,
so funny.
get out of there, man. I'm like, do you have no joy left in your life? You don't even see this is kind of funny or cute or whatever? So I get out, and then he looks at me, and he gets real close. He's like, you want the weed?
That's awesome.
And I'm like, yeah, man, yeah, we got some.
If you have it.
If you got it. Not that I know you do.
Yeah.
So he reaches into the cabinet, he pulls out the drawer, is what it's called. I keep saying cabinet, shelf, safe. It's a drawer, God damn it. So he pulls open the drawer, and he gets out the thing, and he gets out the mason jar full of, like, the shit.
Oh, the bay leaves.
And he's like, so I got this. And I'm like, what's that? And then he's like, oh, it's like, stuff that I grew myself. It's like, it's mostly leaves, but it's kind of a quantity over quality game. I'm like, you got anything else? He's like, nope.
If you happen to... He said no?
Nope. I got nothing else.
Whoa.
Yeah. I'm like, you sure?
That's what you said?
You sure you don't have anything? This is all true.
You calling him out?
You sure you're not? Yeah, dude. This was the perfect crime. I got in there to get enough intel, and then he fucking lies to my face.
Wow.
And then I'm like, can I check? He's like, yeah, you can check. I'm like, you bold-faced motherfucker. So I open the drawer. I pull out the black pouch. I'm like, what's this? And he's like, you can't have that. I'm like,
whoa.
What, dude? I would give you anything. I'd give you my arm if you needed an arm. And so now I'm like, what are you talking about? And he's like, come on, man. Why didn't you bring your own?
Whoa.
And
whoa, you found his personal stuff here.
Yeah.
Well, was there enough left?
There was a whole pouch full, dude.
Wow.
I could have taken one little nug.
You think it holds some sentimental value?
I have no idea. So I keep pressing him on it. I'm like, no, I just didn't. I didn't want to bring it. Whatever. So I'm like, I'm taking this. He's like, fine. And
yeah, I mean,
yeah,
nice.
yeah. And then I went back and I just, without him even showing me, reached in and grabbed the soda thing. And I'm like, well, that was maybe suspicious that I knew exactly what that was.
But you could maybe he was like, I probably saw it when he was looking for the black pouch. The second,
right?
when
yeah,
he was
when
president.
I went back, to investigate.
You go back and unlock a safe that you had cracked before. I know, I'm a brother.
Like, can I have your finger? I boop it on the safe. Just give me both your eyes real quick.
When he's asleep, you drag his body.
Yeah, and then I was walking around the beach, and then I got pretty high, and I voice memoed him. I'm like, okay, well, the reason I didn't bring any back is because I'm trying to take a break. I've been in a weed cyclone, and you know I would do the same for you. And anyway, I'm on the beach.
So funny.
Looking up at the stars.
Thinking of you.
Thinking of Corey.
Bro.
Yeah, the constellations up there.
That's funny. That's a fun little,
It was like, oh boy, and I almost got
your
caught.
brother doesn't
and then I'm like, what the hell? The twist
Yeah.
at the end was that
Yeah,
he wasn't going to give me the good stuff. It looked like grass clippings. It looked like compost. It looked like
Like
weeds.
kind of
It looked like
green
legitimate
confetti-ish.
weeds,
Dang, dude.
like leaves.
And did he smoke that weed, or did
No.
he smoke the good stuff?
No, and then he texted me. He was like, I'm sorry, it's not you, it's me. I'm just a bitter old man. I'm applying for these jobs, and like I might be tested, and I can't do it. So he was like, he can't, which is all the more reason he should give me some.
Yeah, I mean, you can always get more, and he's back in the States now.
I think I don't know. He's kind of particular about some stuff, so I think I
Sure.
just struck him. Like I put him on the spot with this
Mhm.
request, and I think he, ideally would not have given me any, but it's like, buddy, I'll Venmo you $1 if that's what you want.
Yeah, let me get 2 puffs.
Yeah.
It's nothing.
So that's the little weed story. And then I also got I got a new therapist.
Oh, nice.
And my lady, who is a therapist, asked around and be like, yeah, let's see who this person is. And all of her coworkers like love her, know her, like they're good friends with her. And so now I'm like, are you guys gonna talk?
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
I know you're not allowed to, but
Mhm.
like, I know stuff can get through the grapevine. You know what I mean? It's like all doctors say something to each other. They're
Yeah.
not supposed to, but
Mhm.
like, I told Santiago that, and he's like, that would be really illegal. I'm like, who cares, dude? Of course it would be. You think people are snitching? It's like a code,
Yeah, they're just, yeah.
Honor among stethoscopes. Let's just talk,
Yeah, let's just chat.
Let
Let's rap.
let me whisper into your
Yeah.
stethoscope.
You know
no
Joe?
one can hear but you.
He fucking hates you.
He has 3 assholes.
Is that crazy? They call him Stoplight. One's red, one's green, one's brown.
So I'm just worried they're gonna be, they're gonna have like water cooler talk.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
would
like,
go to a different one.
Do you know how small Zach's confidence is? His self-esteem is tiny.
He's faking it in front of you.
Yeah. If I like tell her something, if like something's going on in the relationship. Luckily, she's I got a pretty great lady. I'm pretty happy with my situation right now. Which
Nice,
is
that's good. Yeah, you guys are full on, baby.
full on. Yeah, I guess whatever that means, we're full on.
That joke, I really can't wait to hear it. The joke you told me you're gonna write.
Which one?
About the guy gunning for your spot.
Yeah, you know what's weird is I'm so close to being in the open, ethically non-monog relationship that it's normal to me. So I'll say that like I feel like I'm too close to it to see that it's somewhat strange for people. But like she is considering maybe, ending something with somebody and upset about it. And Santiago's like, "Man, you got to hear about your girlfriend breaking up with dudes," which is funny. And I'm like, I should write a joke about that. But it's just weird. Like, I do have to really think about it.
Yeah, no, it's tough. It's like your formula for these jokes sound more like distance plus time equals comedy instead of tragedy.
Right.
Because you're in it already.
No, I mean, if I really worked on it, I could. It's just like I got to make myself think like that.
No,
dude, you got to wait. Yeah, we've had some good It's nice to be able to just have good conversations and like communicate something, and they, both you guys handle it well, and it's not a disaster. Because I've been in relationships where I'm just scared to tell them something because they're gonna get mad or sad or whatever. Or like
Yeah, it must be amazing. I mean, dating a therapist is like, it's gonna be a different mode. Where you're like,
it is cool.
Yes, you know how to think.
Yeah, well, she's also. I mean, she does definitely receive things very well, but she's also a person. So she sensed that I was anxious about something, and then I was, but I just like told her something else just to get her off the scent before I went to Micro Center to renew my penis, and then on the bike ride there and back, I like formulated how I wanted to phrase it.
Yeah, that's a good way.
So I'm like, I need some thinking time because if I tell you this and like right now, it will be hurtful.
Yeah, I know.
It's gonna hurt your feelings.
Yeah, you got to formulate how you make it. You're like, I know you smell something cooking, but I can't give it to you raw.
Right.
I need to prep
get out of the kitchen,
first.
baby.
Yeah,
it's not done.
It's a raw chicken in here.
It's not done. You're gonna get salmonella. You're gonna leave me.
Yeah, you're gonna die.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kill you.
We're gonna die.
With who I really am.
Yeah. What I really think.
What I really think is gonna be bad for you.
You're gonna cry, and then I'm gonna have to deal with it.
Let me find a moment to find some sugar to coat this.
Yeah. Let me coat this strawberry in sugar. How about I just give you all the sugar, no strawberry?
You want this thing?
No truth, all sugar.
Yeah.
All right, I guess we should wrap up the pod. We got Amelia Earhart and George Putnam coming up before Chucky goes back to the desert lands, burrows in the sand for a few days, as is, medicinally necessary to keep him alive. He has to fully submerge in sand.
Twice a year.
Red hot sand. Twice a quarter.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 8 times a year. Fiscal. Okay, yeah. But thank you guys for listening. We appreciate you very much. We're trying to grow the pod. Tell your friends about it. Write in suggestions for people that you might want to hear about. Follow the pod at Overshadowed_podcast on Instagram. Follow me at Zach Russell Comedy. Charles at Charles_Engle. Charles, what else you got?
That's it, baby. Make sure you tell a friend, write a review, follow us on Instagram, even if you mute us. Just spread us around, get those numbers high.
Don't mute us.
Don't mute us. Enjoy the clips. They're funny. And thank you so much for listening. And everybody who does DM us and say they like the episodes, we really appreciate it.
Yeah, it's very nice.
Thank you so much to the people that have been joining the Patreon. If you haven't, look it up. Check it out. Very funny, personable, and personal.
It's right. And I'm sorry for not putting a bunch of stuff on. I've had a lot of micro setbacks recently, so I'm back. I'm back in the Matrix, I'm
back
walking
in the New York groove.
I'm walking through the green and black grid, and I'm gonna get you guys some hot content. But I just got to recover all the shit off my external. It's a nightmare, but I guess that it is my job. So I'll get it out to you, and take it easy until next time. Thank you guys for listening.
Guys.
Take it easy, all right? Take it easy.
Let's say it at the same time. I'm Zach.
I'm Charles. Take it easy. Take it easy. Don't let the ketchup blaze get you down.
Please support our sponsor.
Yeah, please support our sponsor, Mustard Utz. Actually, mustard pretzels are
that
a
would
thing.
be good.
We're ending
it
the
is
pod.
A thing.
Podcast episode is over.
I thought it was Oots.
Oots. Ray Goots. Who's that? That's a comedian? We got to go.
Bye.